Hi guys, welcome back to another Halloween tutorial. Today's video is going to be the makeup tutorial for this kind of creepy skeletal ghost bride. The idea for the silhouette and this flowy tulle dress came first, so I've been calling it like this tulle ghost in my mind, but the dress and headpiece video is going to come soon. First, I'm going to show you how to pull off this soft skull makeup. Great for if you want something less graphic like most skull makeups are, and you want something more soft and refined. So let's just get started. To begin, we're going to glue down the brows. Not totally necessary for this look, but I'm doing it anyway because the brows and even my sideburns make me look too human, and I want to look more alien and mysterious. So I'm going to glue those down with Aide or a glue stick, whatever you prefer to make them flat, and then you're going to cover them with powder and foundation until your face is just one flat canvas. I'm taking this white cream face paint from NYX and I'm going to incorporate it into my face makeup, just like highlight underneath my eyes in the center of my face, and I'm also going to take it a little bit down the neck and chest. I want to kind of pale out my skin so that my face looks a little more dead than it already does on a daily basis. You could have also just used a foundation a few shades lighter than your skin, but in either case, I'm going to finish by setting my face with powder to seal in that base layer. I'm going in with a brown cream color now, and I'm going to start sculpting out my cheekbones. I want this to be a little bolder than normal, so I'm not completely blending it out. Usually you never want to be able to see where your contour stops and starts, but for a skull makeup, you really need to deepen certain areas of the face. To get things really dark, you're going to want to use powder. On top of being matte and removing the shine, powders just have higher concentrations of color, so I'm putting this along my cheekbone and temple as well as my eyes. I want to really hollow out my eye socket, and the reason I'm using a face brush over an eye brush is because I want to start out really soft and diffused. Using some more browns, except on an eye brush now, I'm going to concentrate that definition on the eyes now, especially that inner corner and even below the eyes, creating like dark circles. I'm doing the opposite of what I typically do when I'm doing my makeup because I don't want the eyes to look big and bright. I want them to look sunken and dead. I also didn't highlight my brow bone, as you may have noticed. I wanted to have a more alien look and just let the eyeshadow go as high as it could go, just so that the eyes are like two dark holes. I also even used some black, but only in that inner corner, like where the nose bone meets the brow bone and where my dark circles would be. For the nose, I'm using a brown eyeshadow on a flat angled brush so I can make those lines, and then I feather the color inwards. For the cheeks, it's the exact same idea. Drawing the lines first, and you can also use a brown cream color for this. It's often easier to blend as long as you're using a small definer brush, but you're going to feather the lines inwards again so that the lines are the darkest part and it kind of fades inwards. For most skull looks, this entire part is often blackened out because on a real skull, this would just be negative space. But I wanted to go for something softer and less graphic for once, kind of inspired by like smoke and slow motion and just nude tones. For the teeth, all I used was a white cream paint, and my biggest tip after having done tons of skulls in my life is to use the right brush. A lip brush that's small and flat is ideal in my experience because you can just touch and swipe and it almost looks perfect. So basically, I just create that hard edge on the bottom by pressing the brush there and then swipe up so the top is long but also narrow. I don't like to trace a perfect tooth shape. I don't mind if it looks just like brushstrokes. I think it's actually more kind of organic and artistic that way. But one tip is to try not making them too square or too fat because it looks kind of juvenile almost. I don't know how to describe it, but I also recommend starting in the middle of your mouth and working outwards so you can be sure you have a balanced number on both sides of the face. I take it a little bit out past the lips, ending kind of where the eyes are on the face, and I even have the teeth like flick out there, just as a little artistic choice. And I also went in with a little bit of brown eyeshadow and marked out some like little dimples in between the teeth as an added detail. And then since this was a cream product, we're gonna need to set it. I used like a banana colored powder, which will dull down the white, but I didn't mind that. It makes it more nude toned anyway, which I liked. But if you want to retain the stark white teeth for your skull, either use a translucent powder or just a stark white eyeshadow. I knew my outfit was going to leave the chest open and exposed, so I kind of wanted to do something special here. Kind of similar to how I did the teeth, except just on a larger scale. I took a flat brush, rubbed it in one spot to create that hard, fat edge, and then flicked it outwards, following the pattern of my natural bone structure here as a guide. Some people do really intricate replicas of an actual skeleton's collarbone and rib cage and throat, but I like to keep it simple. The focal point here is going to be our costume anyways and our eyes. Define these with more brown eyeshadow, except only against the bottom edge using an eyeshadow brush so it's not as harsh, and this just makes our ribs look a little more hollow and sunken in. And again, of course, you're going to want to set it all with powder since we did use cream for the white. Going back to the eyes for a bit, I'm going to add mascara to the top and bottom. For the top, I added a super thin line of wig liner. The goal here is just so that the top lashes have a base to sit on. This way, if you don't put them on super precisely, the base is blackened so you can't see mistakes. Sidebar, as I'm editing this, I just realized you can see me watching Arthur in the reflection of my mirror. Oh my god, I need to cover that up. Anyway, it seems I just can't resist the temptation of putting on white liner in the waterline. I wanted to wear white mesh lenses, which like blanken the eye and make it look like your pupils are gone. A super cool effect. I feel like Storm from X-Men every time I wear them. If you're a long-time subscriber, you might remember that video from years and years ago. Y'all, I was like, I'm serving Halle Berry. I don't need to wear wigs. Yeah, anyway, the white eyeliner just really helps make the effect of the white contact stand out a little more by making the whites of the eyes really pop against the contrast of all the dark eyeshadow. Since I loved how the white stood out, I decided to add a little bit more white detailing, taking that clown white and making some contour lines against the darkest parts of the face, in my dark circles and against the curvature of the cheekbones. But I didn't want it to be super stark white, so I did set it with more beige face powder, and that's pretty much it for this makeup look. If you want to see how I made this dress and headpiece, you'll have to stay tuned and subscribe so you can be notified when that video comes out. Until then, I hope you guys liked watching this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Onlinekyne for more pictures and videos and behind the scenes of all my work. Speaking of which, you guys are always tagging me in your recreations, so I wanted to give a shout out to those of you here. I really can't thank you enough for all of the love. It really means a lot to me. But until next time, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!
Make it